This is an absolutely phenomenal green text that's been discovered and reposted here by Rock Solid, which reads, Western game uses the generic harem romance bait anime with cute girls the blank self-insert MC has to choose from trope. This is what 15 years of feminist institutional, political, ideological indoctrination can do to nations, to peoples in general. It has convinced us that hot women in video games are a foreign trope. That was something the Japanese invented. God help me. It's like isekais all over again. Oh, that was a Japanese thing. Have you ever read Gulliver's Travels? But okay, right. Interesting. Its popularity instantly skyrockets overnight and becomes the #1 selling game on Steam. And indeed, it did skyrocket. Probably a lot to do with a certain scene, which was also incorrectly labeled on Twitter as a first-person sex scene, which I am not at all opposed to necessarily in future entries of this series and so on, but yeah, that helped, as the game released to a fairly disappointing, I would imagine, 12,000 concurrent players. And considering the quality of the roster behind this game, considering it's partially created by Critical Role, considering it employs half the talent on the platform in one way or another as voice acting talent, 12,000 was pretty disappointing. But then dropped episode 2 of the story, and 65,999. That is quite the swing. That is quite the drastic swing in popularity there. And why? Well, okay. Before the game was released, a lot of people was mentioning on the forums of the game and on the internet, even in my own commentary section as well, as I did a series on it, because I was just like, oh, hey, that's a really cool idea. I want to do a series on it. I decided the moment I saw the demo that I wanted to do that. But even in my chat, though, people are like, this is going to be a woke game. Why are you playing it? And I get it. Choose your own adventure game in the current year with a large roster of characters, including a bunch of buff, gay-looking men. I see it, and yet it's probably the least woke game in ages. In fact, I don't even think there is a gay romance option, and the actual characters are really well written, compelling, and interesting. To the point that the chat, of course, started a bidding war between Blonde Blazer and Invisigal. And we've got more custom art coming, by the way, as well, because I really enjoyed the game. It was fun, it was well written, it was pacey, punchy, and interesting. And that, I think, is a large part of the reason for the boost in sales, as suddenly people realized, hold on, excuse me, are you telling me that this is a game with attractive female characters, well-written, intriguing, compelling women characters, in a game aimed at the male audience? Get out of here. What is this, 2014? We can't have those anymore. Those were eradicated during the Great Apocalypse over 10 years ago. That doesn't happen, and indeed nobody could believe it, and yet I don't even think there is a gay romance option in the game, in its entirety. Which again, in the current year, that sounds absurd. Hell, I went into it fully assuming there would be at some point, and yet no sign of it. I wouldn't even object to it, because that would just be the norm now, to ham-fist in a gay romance of some sort, no matter how poorly written, no matter how rushed, or how fucking awkward it is. A certain Mass Effect game comes to mind in that regard. But nothing, just good, wholesome, solid romance, with the exception of one semi-invisible fingering scene, I guess. So yeah, I absolutely understand why it rose so enormously in popularity, but should more Western games use anime JRPG tropes like these, would it decrease the overall quality sneeze, of games. Now, yes, and no. And yes, actually. Should more games use it? Absolutely. Did you see it sextuple its concurrent players? Of course more games should use it. There is very clearly here a fucking starved, underserved market of heterosexual men who'd like to experience a romance game. It's like Milking Farm, where I read the entirety of that damned thing and think to my, oh my god, women are just horny, brutish monsters, whereas male romance is like, oh, I want to be in a relationship. Yeah, we absolutely should. And anime JRPG tropes. Oh, this is like isekai all over again, where we're like, oh, isekai is a Japanese trope. Have you ever heard of Gulliver's Travels? It, like most things, originated from right over here, but details. However, there is, in fact, a danger of it becoming too much. A lot of people may not remember this, but back in the pre-feminist era of, like, 2007, when Heavenly Sword came out, it was actually viewed as a negative thing, that the main character was a little bit too sexified. Not because we didn't like sexy female characters, but because we were drowning in them. It seems impossible to even fathom now, but back then, this was kind of just a excuse a game came up with. Sex sells, so we can make an absolutely shit video game, barely marketed it beyond, look, her tits bounce, and still sell millions. Didn't work out, because here's the thing. If you have too much of a thing, then no matter how good that thing might be, people get sick of it. And then you need something else. If we were right now, for example, drowning in good Batman entertainment, TV shows, movies, video games, then something like the upcoming TV show, The Bat-Fam Abomination, would actually be a good thing. But we aren't. And right now, well, frankly, Dispatch feels like a bit of a fucking lifeline. It feels like a bit of a miracle. Now, technically, they've still got 2 episode releases yet, of 4 individual episodes with which to ruin it, but man, they're really gonna have to pull out all the stops to destroy this particular success. So, yes. To all the developers out there who are looking at this, and more importantly, this, and wondering, hold on, should we appeal to the primarily male, straight demographic, the main audience of video games in some way, via, for example, a compelling romance plot that isn't simply just, hey, attractive female, wanna bork? Yes. Yes, you should. The sales are there, the people are there, the desire for it is obviously there. You just gotta not get lazy about it. Although in the current market, let's be fair, even if you did get lazy about it, probably get away with it for a while longer. But that is a fantastic text on so many levels. Firstly, the idea that hot women are a Japanese concept, and secondly, the question of, should we do more of it? Yeah. We're still a very long way away from a Heavenly Sword being the market, situation we're in right now. And to the guys behind Dispatch, good job. You were the very first to jump on this trend, the very first to notice the starving man in the corner and give him a video game. Congratulations. I'm looking forward to Dispatch 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.